Welcome to Mr. Podcast with Claude.
And Justin.
All right, we're unfortunately back with another commentary on Netflix's The I Dash Land. And neither of us want to be doing this. Want you to be listening to this, or want any part of this horrible show, but the pilot that we covered before was bad in these really interesting ways that we thought it'd be nice to see if the show gets any better, or does it get worse, which is what I'm kind of curious about, because it was already worse than I thought it would be before
Yeah.
I knew anything about the show. So yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna
me
do
too.
one more of these and see how it goes. And yeah, right, Justin.
Yeah. I mean, I would compare watching the show, like whatever appeal watching the show has is it's watching a car crash or some kind of like disaster that you can't
Mm-hmm.
stop, but it's so spectacular in
It's
a
like
way.
when a tsunami floods a city or something, and you're like,
Yeah,
"Wow,
exactly.
I didn't know the awesome power that this horrible thing could have."
Yeah, exactly. There's something impressive about
Mm-hmm.
how terrible it is, and I think that is what sort of lends it a
Yeah,
strange anti-fascination.
yeah. It's kind of like anti-fascination. That's a good term for something. Good book or band name or something. Uh, uh, but yeah, it makes me think of I lost my train of thought because I was thinking about cool band names. I was gonna say the tsunami thing made me think of uh oh, that's what I was gonna say. That it makes me feel you know that it becomes like this terrible creation that you feel like you should give condolences to everyone involved, unlike this monstrosity, right? Versus it just being like bad. There's a lot of things that are just bad that's just like, I don't need to watch that, that's bad.
Right.
But this is like it's just like bad on so many levels that it's like, yeah, Tsunami City.
Yeah.
Another good band name.
It's a good one. Yeah, no, it's like it's deep. The level on which it's bad. And in the interest of full disclosure, however much you care about the
You made this
show.
show?
Yeah, it was me. Sorry.
Oh no, wait. Have you been Neil Labute this entire
I
time?
have to tell you, I am TV's Neil LaBute.
God, I thought you were just like a regular misogynist, not
Yeah,
like a
no,
gossip.
no. I like to take it to another level.
I didn't know you were. Wow, who knew? Well, I feel like we should have had more listeners with a celebrity on this entire time.
I
You
agree. It
used the
probably
you
didn't
used
help, but
the you used the nom de
I
plume.
did.
So
I did.
yeah, and when you use a French word, everything is wrong.
Exactly. Yeah,
Like
it's
there's a
kind of a
French
bad
phrase for that.
idea. Like celebrity podcasting doesn't work if you cover up your name and you also don't sound like yourself. I'm also using a voice disguiser.
Of course you are. Who would normally have that voice, right?
Yeah,
I
no
mean,
one no one sounds like this. Oh god. What a nightmare.
what a nightmare indeed.
This is
Well,
my real
imagine.
voice. I would kill myself. And
Jeez.
then I would delete every recording of my voice that exists
Wow.
after I
Well,
kill.
good thing it's not your real voice. Wink, wink. Uh,
Exactly. Wink, double wink.
I don't think we're fooling them, Neil. Um,
So yeah, my show is it's a show that, maybe everyone doesn't like it. That's okay. I never try to please everyone. You know, I'm just
excuse me, Neil Abute.
yeah.
I'm a casual TV interviewer, and I have a question for you.
Hi. Yes. How can I help?
I found you in this pizzeria the sketch is taking place in for no apparent reason.
Okay. Okay.
uh,
Sure.
why is the S? Oh,
Wait, what?
the title of your show, there's an S missing in island. It's I dash land. I'm just curious, um,
Oh yeah,
why
yeah.
that artistic
No,
choice.
it's yeah, I can't tell you it's a spoiler, but
Ah,
I can tell you
S for spoiler. So your show has no S, which means it has no spoiler, except for the one spoiler that is what is the
I
S?
don't want to give anything away, but let's just say you're on the right track.
Ooh, buddy. Um. All right, we can stop playing the game where they Neil Abute because that's funny, but it's also
I
gross.
know, I know, I
Uh,
know. I don't want to be Neil Abute.
he doesn't either.
Who would? Yeah. Yeah, so I after the last podcast, I the show like got under my skin,
I
and
feel like you're confessing in group
I
right now.
am. This is what it is. And I just felt like, uh, I basically just wanted to know, like, what are the secrets, okay? Because I'm
Hmm.
just like,
S for
I
secrets.
don't. Yeah, hey, look at that. Yeah, no, not a coincidence. So I just felt like, I just want to know what happens, so I don't have
Yep.
to actually watch the episodes. I can just see like what bullshit answer they give. Because like, remember, we threw out some theories,
Yep.
and yeah, I don't I don't want to spoiler it, but let's just say, like, one of our theories is not that far from right.
Okay.
Anyway, um so I read the answer and I was like, okay, whatever. Like, it's not that exciting. But I so then I read like the episode descriptions, and when I read the description of episode 2,
Uh
I
huh.
was like, okay, fuck it. Like, let me just put it on. I'm doing other stuff. I'm not like
Hmm.
super paying attention, but I did watch it.
Okay.
Didn't enjoy it. We're gonna watch it again now, and we can go over why. But I just want to admit that I kind of know what the plot. Like, I didn't read the details of like what actually happens in the later episodes. I just know like the outline of what's going on with the island,
Hmm. Hmm.
and I know specifically what happens in episode 2. So
Okay.
I'm biased in that way. I'm gonna try not to like give things away. As we go forward, I think, by the end, like, you might have some theories, and we can decide what to do about that. But yeah, I'm not going to give anything away, but I do have that in my head. So if you're wondering, like, whatever, the way I'm talking about things, that's where I'm coming from. So,
And I am a normal person, so I have not seen the second episode
oh,
of The
good for
Island.
you. What a normal person you
But
are.
then I'm going to ruin this normalcy by watching it, and I'll become abnormal like you. But yeah, I haven't seen it, and again, yeah, I'm curious. Again, like, you said in the preamble, like, it's bad in this very interesting way. That's like it's like almost like if you were eating a food from like like a foreign food or something, or an exotic food, and it didn't agree with your palate at all, but it was such a weird flavor or taste that, like, you wanted to
Yeah.
try to be like, wait, is what, this is that gross, really?
Yeah.
And so you kind of want a second taste, which is what I consider this, the second
Yeah.
taste.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I've seen that. They have that on like some of those like food competition shows or something. Like, judges come over, they taste the thing, and they're like, "I've never tasted anything like that in my life, and I hate it."
Yeah. Give me some more. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely think that's a big part of the appeal, and like, whatever you could call appeal when it comes to the show. And I think it also throws into, like, for me, perspective, like Lost, like what Lost did,
Hmm.
right? And even when Lost was bad, the
Yeah.
way in which it was bad, which was, to a large degree, like, very different from the way this show is bad.
Yeah.
Like, its failures are just on a different level,
Mm-hmm.
and they did really get like a lot of basic things right. And I think like that is like one major problem with this show is that like
Mm-hmm.
it's so strongly linked with Lost on a number of levels, like even explicitly, that um that I think like you shouldn't be thinking about Lost when you're watching this, because it really
Mm-hmm.
just invites like a lot of
I don't
really
know
bad
why
comparisons.
anyone would compare a show called The Island with Lost, which had nothing to do with an island, as far as I remember. There certainly wasn't a crew of castaways.
We certainly did get a shot of an eye opening at the beginning.
No, there's no long-term mysteries to solve.
Strangers waking up and having conflicts, and okay, sure, maybe they dialed back the sexual assault a little bit, but there was still
Hey, what are you gonna
problems.
do? It was 2004. You
Yeah.
couldn't, you
Yeah,
couldn't do that back
exactly.
then.
Bunch of
You couldn't do it
snowflakes
back
back
then.
then. They couldn't handle the
Yeah.
truth.
You can't handle the truth? What truth is that? Jesus Christ, no one answered that question.
Yeah, I know. I just I'm trying to like think of like what the defense is. Like, no,
Yeah.
that's how it would be. Like nonstop sexual assault island. That's what Neil sees.
Jesus Christ. Sexual Assault Island, where the one thing that's not there is consent. Yeah. Yeah. We've got tons of coconuts and no consent. Um Yikes, God. If there's more sexual violence, I'm really gonna be upset. Now I'm getting all triggered from remembering the last episode.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Well,
I forgot how much I hated Brody, man. I forgot.
well.
Yeah, now it's all coming back. So, I just gotta say, listen. If you're gonna have a show where people are sexually assaulting each other with very little consequences, at least make it gender neutral and have the women sexually assaulting people too. I mean, it's
Sure, sure,
2019. Come
sure,
on.
sure. I mean, I don't know if that would fix the show, but it would certainly fix some
Hey,
a
could it make it
specific
worse?
problem. I don't think so.
Yikes. All right, let's do it.
You ready? You ready to dive into this
No.
fucking bullshit?
Oh God.
I'm
Yeah. Now I'm
nervous.
trying to think if because see, before we watched the pilot, I had no idea what the show's about. I thought it'd just be a normally type boring in
It
a
could have
normal
been.
way.
They could
It
have
should
fucking
have been.
done that, and honestly, like it would have
Yeah.
been. It might have been boring and shitty, but like at least it wouldn't have been like
Yeah.
offensive.
Offensive. But so
No,
the show turned out to be worse than I possibly imagined. So now I'm trying to play that
yeah,
same game and think, now can episode 2 be worse than episode 1? So
yeah,
that's gonna be my big question going into this.
yeah.
I feel like the answer should be no. It couldn't
Right,
possibly be
right,
worse.
right.
But they're gonna have more scenes with Brody, so
Well,
that makes me think the odds are very
spoiler
high.
alert.
Brody's gonna Brody, and because that's what Brodies do,
That's right.
and then Sawyer Girl will take his side every time he Brodies.
Yep.
So
Oh God. Ugh. Okay. Yeah. A valid prediction. Is it worse? Is it better? I don't know. I have some thoughts after we get into it, but definitely I agree that the first episode set the bar quite low, so it's
mhm.
hard to get worse. But if it's better, is it better in any way that matters?
That's a great question.
We'll just have to see.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like if you were burned alive at like 1,000 degrees, is it better that you were burned alive at 998 degrees? Like, yeah, that's better, but did it
Right.
matter?
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Thought I'd for a nice light-hearted metaphor.
So light. My heart is so light now.
Did that lift your heart?
It did.
Well, it's because heat rises. That's a physics joke.
Oh, I like it. It's a good one. Yeah, he rises. Yeah.
Yeah, if we can get the law of thermodynamics in here, It's always a good podcast.
It is.
What are those particles doing? All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. We're gonna press play, and hopefully
Brace
we're all
yourself,
synced up. Here we
kids.
go. All right. And suspenseful music. Water, water everywhere. Okay, we've got a raft. I've seen rafts before.
But you've never seen a raft like this.
Why is she grunting? Sorry, the subtitles are giving me a lot of clues about what's happening.
I need you to grunt.
Now she's Sun seeing the boat.
Yep. Boat!
Raft!
Raft!
Oh, I was so happy she didn't have her conch to blow. Oh, she's by the sign. She slept by the sign no one cared about, and now she's
stayed by
bleeding.
there.
What did she cut herself on? A rock?
Glass? I don't know. I don't know what was on the ground there.
Why is her belt coming off?
Because if you
And
go
now
in the
she's
water, you
limping
take
in
your
the
belt
water?
off. Come on.
That salt's gonna hurt her wound.
Have you ever done any swimming before?
That was like way too many things to happen. Oh, now we get the sharks because of blood in the water. This is so.
Oh yeah.
This is like a 1980s horror movie.
Yeah. Isn't that what you wanted? Right,
no, Lisa, don't go in the water. I've heard they're sharks. Oh, Brenda, you're so bad. It's the 1980s.
You need to calm down.
Yeah. That's why Brad doesn't like you, Brenda. Or Linda. I forgot who was who.
Blenda.
So listen, what I hate about this, besides how heavy-handed it is that, first of all, there's too much going on.
I love that they're ripping off Jaws on top of everything else.
On top of everything else, but here's the thing. The last episode, the sharks came out with no blood in the water.
Yeah.
So why go through the trouble of being like, oh, now we have to have blood?
I don't know. It's kind of silly. I guess they thought it might raise the stakes. Like the sharks will extra be on attack mode.
Okay, Neil.
All right, where's Desmond?
Right?
I don't know you.
That's pretty good.
Uh-oh, get your hand off the water. You're going to lose an arm. Don't lose your arm, Chase.
Can't chase with one arm.
Wait, what does she just do? I'm confused.
There's a rope. There's something with a rope.
What was wrong with the rope?
She unroped it.
Was it anchored? I'm a little confused.
I think the top was roped down.
Oh, the top was roped down. Okay. Cool. Supplies. What's that? Money? Okay.
Clues.
What else we got? Bullets. Oh, bullets.
Where's the
what
gun?
Kind of bullet speech?
Why is she so confused about what a bullet is?
What could this be? Round metal cylinder.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. This is a Halliburton case.
Remember that time Jack found some medical supplies? He was like, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Rock on, dudes. I don't think we're done with the shark. No, I guess we are.
Yeah, that was kind of a weak teaser.
They're all weak teasers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
She's
bad.
found an ore.
Bad.
Okay, here we go. Act 1.
That was short AF.
Oh, she brought it in. Oh, she used the oar to swim.
She used the oar! And now she's dragging it.
Yeah, she's going to live in there.
Yeah. It's a new place.
A new thing to sit on.
Good point. They should bring the logs over.
They'll be like, we'll have all our secret meetings in here.
But first, we need palm fronds.
The best kind of fronds.
Oh, she hided it. I'm sorry.
She hided it.
She done hided it.
This is Back to the Future when Marty goes and hides his DeLorean when he goes back in
She
time.
did not hide it that well. Like it's fucking
No.
bright orange. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Chase, but they're gonna find that shit. And this is Brody.
You think Brody's gonna find it?
I think Brody might find it. That seems logical. Someone antagonistic.
Welcome to the land of the living. They're
Yup.
stealing all the lines.
Yup.
Your antics? That's a dumb thing to say.
Yeah, it is. She's doing antics.
Your antics.
I love that.
Is this the Brody charm?
Oh my god, he's so charming. Wow. You doing more antics? Come on,
More
Chase.
antics. What does that mean? What's
I'm
happening
confused by that
here?
exchange. That makes no sense to me.
I feel like she took it wrong.
She totally took it wrong. Like she was like, I can't imagine you starving, and then she's like, I like to eat. Oh God. Hey, there's a
just told her-
waterfall over there. It's like
just-
got caught in a net, but it's rape.
He just told her to stay in the kitchen.
Of course he did. Oh my God.
So they're gonna go to the waterfall?
She was like, don't fall for the look. There's a waterfall trick. It's like, God,
Oh, okay.
it's like, ugh. All right, that was a little better than the tent.
Mhm.
All right, what's the case may be? Ooh, medicine.
Mhm.
Dharma Island medicine. I like it. Does it got
Do they say-
logos?
No, they look normal.
Oh, I think I saw I-L on it. That
Oh,
might have
did
been
you?
Island. I think I did. All right, we'll have
sure
to
there
study the
wasn't-
tape later.
Yeah, right.
Freeze frame.
Oh no, whatever the case may be, case.
It's another case. What's in the case?
It's locked.
What's in the case? You need a key for the
You need a
case.
key for the case.
Well, I actually don't remember what's in that thing. Maybe we don't find out. I really totally forgot about that. All right. Secret case. Good. Doing more antics? Did I say monkey screeches in the background?
That's what happened.
Okay. Is that your toilet paper you're carrying?
I hope it's before,
Like,
not after.
throw that somewhere else?
Oh my god!
It's just cash.
That's more antics.
Oh
He's
yeah,
so
that rapist
antics.
guy. Oh my god.
Wow, this is crazy. He's just the rapist guy
He
now.
just called him the rapist guy. No, it's fine. He's the rapist guy. What are you gonna
Just
do?
the rapist. He's a redhead. He's a
Redhead.
rapist. The redhead and the rapist. Yeah.
Defining characteristic.
Wow, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. I can tell you the worst scenes ever on the show will be these two together. I can tell you that already.
Yeah,
They have no
it's a
chemistry. They
bad
have nothing to.
team.
They have nothing to talk about. I can just tell you, no matter what this show does, the worst scenes will be those two together.
I'm just confused about like. Okay, God, I gotta wait for a pause. I'm confused. Ooh, Buddha lock.
Isn't this day 2? You're tired of coconut and berries.
I know. That's like fucking fast. It's not that bad. Damn.
Is she being sarcastic?
I don't even know.
I feel like he took it wrong.
Yeah.
Nice distraction. More antics from this bitch.
Double antics.
I hate the dialogue.
It's not good. And he's known for his dialogue.
It sounds like it sounds like somebody's first script.
Yeah,
like
it sounds like some shit
memoir.
I would write. That's what I
It
was
sounds like
thinking.
yeah, it's got this like witty banter.
It's like awkward.
yeah. We got to make these hunting traps now. But you're right.
Oh, really?
Don't keep a secret.
Okay. Hashtag secrets.
Why keep that junk a secret?
I don't even know.
The parrot was like, I don't know. The parrot shook its head. I don't approve of this filming. They're going to get the coconuts nobody wants anymore? Is that what's happening here?
I guess so. What list? Why is there a list?
Okay, let's see what he says.
All right, I'm ready.
She had antics. Here we go. I mean, something. What? We were gonna live here? Wow, she didn't let him get to the bad part.
Nope. Straight to that.
Shut up and kiss me with your rapey mouth. Wow, that was horrible.
Yeah,
She's
that was
the
a bad
worst.
scene.
I don't know if
Terrible
he's the
character.
worst or she's the worst, but they're battling for it.
I did think like her like tacit approval of him is like really weird.
Yeah.
And like she didn't really care that much. Like that was such a half-ass, not even finished explanation.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Arst.
She's ours. It doesn't matter?
Who's the
Donovan?
right, the guy who got
Oh,
eaten by the
yeah.
shark.
He's still here.
He's never gonna die. Come on.
We didn't vote.
We didn't vote.
He throat punched them.
Yeah. I'm cool.
What the hell? Jeez. Oh, Brody. I knew
Fucking
you'd
Brody.
get worse.
Wow, that's sand face.
Yeah. Well, now everybody trusts Brody. I'm just teasing the joke.
Teasing.
Wow,
This is
he's
some
the
of my
worst.
antics.
I'm a lover, not a fighter, says the guy
Are
with the
you
knife.
really?
Because you tried to rape me. Here comes Sawyer girl. She's gonna agree. the crazy guy with the knife?
Anyone is invited.
Anybody?
Wow, Brody. So tempting.
Wow. Did Chase ask if Casey was okay?
I think so.
Why?
I don't know why.
I hate moments like this where we're supposed to think she's about to stab her for no reason.
Right.
And then why is she all huffing and puffing? Nothing happened to her.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
I guess now it matters if it was coming or going.
Oh, look, it's a storm. Uh-oh.
That dude's dead. They're weakening and burning him.
Oh, okay. It's not hidden anymore.
Oh man, here we go.
No
This
question.
is dumb. They're like, Neil gave us a new place to sit. I told you they were gonna go in this thing.
Yeah, you were so right.
Ugh. Now everybody but Brody's in there.
Yup.
Got the Brody.
Oh, he's not in there either.
Wow. I hope something interesting happens right now.
He's sitting out there with a shirt, like.
Oh, wow. Look at that cut. Okay. Brody gets a fire.
Yeah.
Why are they all so tired?
I don't know.
Why are they
I know why
asleep?
Donovan's tired,
Why are
but.
they asleep already? Oh,
Uh-oh.
Girl, who you shoot this time? Teresa goes up the stairs. Teresa goes down the stairs. Get the fuck inside! Damn! What are you doing? What's happening?
Cooper. Okay. All right.
Okay, so what Lost would have done is something would have happened that night because of the rain.
Yeah.
It would have prompted a plot point, and the
Jack
rain
shit
itself
happened.
wouldn't have been the plot point.
Yeah.
It would have something would have happened that
It's a
night
bad plot, like
because they were split up. Like, like unless something happens now, like they come out of the tent and like there's a statue where there wasn't a statue, or like
not a statue.
Something should happen. Her foot's still cut.
Yep. That's called acting.
Ah.
All right, where's the secret?
Yeah, where's the plot, guys? Where's the point?
Is that like a second island over there?
There's something down there. There's two.
Is that some extra shit, or is that supposed to be the same island? Like it curves around.
I think one is it curves, and the other one is a different island, which they don't care about going to.
Nah, they don't seem to give a shit. I don't know why, but is that what she cut a foot on?
Now she's gonna find it. Is she gonna find the island? Come on, please. What's that? A key fob?
Key fob!
Whose car got parked on the island?
Come on, mystery key fob. You can't do that.
That wasn't in there last episode when it broke open.
Wasn't it though?
All right, Neil. She still didn't see that part. Damn.
No, of course not. Maybe you just didn't see it.
What are you gonna do? Hey guys, I found a key fob. Like they didn't care about anything else you found.
It's urgent. More antics?
More antics.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you know they aren't here. They're all in the tent.
Right.
Why are you confused?
That's a good point.
Guess because Brody's here to scare her.
So she's running to tell Brody? Like, oh, I
don't
know.
know.
I think maybe I know what she's doing. I guess we'll see.
I smell crab. Oh, this little thing? Antics. This is my antic stabbing thing. Like, who is this for? This tension in here. Who is this serving? What
I have
audience
no
member
idea.
wants to enjoy this type of tension? Where is he going and why? And
He's going to wake up the others up.
why?
Because
crabs
about the
on.
crabs. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, this is what I thought she was doing. It's the key fob for this.
That's
Maybe.
weird.
Yeah.
That's not how anything works in life. What is she doing? How is she
Oh,
making
it's like a
numbers out of it?
combination key fob.
Which is not a thing.
Uh-oh.
Terrence
Not according
Howard
to
in the
Terrence
house.
Howard. Try 4.
Try 0. Why? What's 39? Oh, the steps between them?
Yeah.
If it's empty, I'm ending this.
This podcast is over.
Course.
There it is.
This is dumb. I hate this show.
I wonder if these bullets are gonna fit that gun.
But like now what? Ooh, now that's a gun.
Look out!
Oh, what? How much drama and tension we're gonna get because there's a gun.
She's got a
Who's
gun.
got the Brody wants the gun.
She's got a gun. What's Brody gonna do now? Chase got
Brody
a gun.
goes. Brody's got the spear. So now she has a knife, an axe, and a gun.
Yep.
Why does she have so many weapons?
Yep, they totally woke up for crabs.
Crab time.
That was it. You're welcome, everybody.
Right? Now who's the rapist?
Exactly.
Did the crabs get burnt? He's like, he put it, that was the second time he put it in the kitchen.
Yep.
It's like, watch the fire.
Yep.
She has nothing to do on this show at all. She has literally nothing to do. She's like Locke season 6, but in the first episode.
Yeah, you're right.
You know,
right.
like Man
She's
in Black Locke,
there.
where she's like all pensive and like she's got a plan, but like she's got nothing.
I'm just sitting here.
I'm just sitting here waiting till I get another scene with Brody. Oh, not a secret wound. Don't let it be a secret
wound.
Oh, secret scar.
Secret scar. Oh, secret scar.
S for scar?
What does it mean? What does it mean, Casey?
I bet we won't find out in this scene. Yeah. What a novel observation. Try what?
Looking at the water? Isn't she already doing that? I don't get it.
I missed it. Here, I'll sit here. I gotta sit somewhere for us to talk.
Yeah.
That's what a scene is. Two people sitting and talking. I'm a playwright. See how this isn't about anything? Like the essence of drama is two characters who want things in a scene. And like they don't want anything. Like she at least wants her to go away. So that's
Right.
something you can play.
Yeah.
But the other woman, like, what does she want? What? What? This scene has just gone from what to what. And I swear I'm so confused. So she oh no!
Yeah, here we go. Brace yourself.
What? What's happening? How is this a show? I'm so confused.
I'm sorry. I'm only laughing because I'm watching this for the second time.
I kept pushing it. That one time I kissed him. This is what I hate about this show. Is they don't actually play out the things the characters are talking about. Okay, so wait, now is she just lying? Or is the show skipping over things we didn't see? Is that what we're supposed to be concerned about now? Because like we didn't see him do anything to her.
Right.
So now is it like, oh, she's making this up because she's a weirdo? And you know, women can't be trusted. Oh, now she's oh my god.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, that's what this thing is. All right.
That's the point. That's the punchline.
This has nothing to do with them being on an island. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
This isn't coming out because they're on an island.
Right.
This is horrible. To what? Hate women?
Yeah, I think so.
Now this has happened? So now she hates herself because she hates women.
Yep.
And so now it's like, oh, okay, now all women I hate, including myself now.
Yeah.
Or did he not? I'm so horrified and confused. I don't understand what I'm supposed to think. And what I'm upset about is that might be on purpose.
Right.
Like, are we gonna cut to Neela Butte and go, see, audience? When it comes to sexual assault, if you weren't there, you don't know what happened. You don't know who to trust. Sometimes women lie and make it up. Like, is that what I'm supposed to be thinking? Or did something actually happen off screen?
Well,
and she's telling the truth.
I'll weigh in, but we got to get to the end.
Is that a hat? He's like, that's great. How about you make something we can eat? Yeah, I hate everything about like what people are doing on the show. You know what I mean? Just like,
yeah.
Why are you? She has a knife.
Is she sharpening a rock?
She's gonna whittle. She's sharpening a rock. I thought she was whittling. Oh, she's sharpening.
Oh, she's sharpening the blade on the rock. Okay, that makes
There
more
we
sense.
go. There we go. All right, we're not outdoorsmen.
Clearly not.
Gotta get this rock sharp. How do you know? And if they can't count hills,
a one.
a one hilly dilly, a two hilly dilly. Why do you have to get something? He's like, that's an even exchange. I calculated the differential. Flashback? No. All right.
Yeah, it's these like transition shots. Ooh, waterfall.
You know what happens at the waterfall?
God.
They're still woefully like unconcerned with why they don't remember anything and
Yeah. Yeah, they settled in like really fast.
Yeah.
Like I know they got there on Lost eventually, but it took a while.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, this is day 2 or 3, maybe. I think maybe it's been 3 days.
Maybe 3, yeah, because there was 2 the first episode at least.
Yeah. They went to sleep and then they had the storm night.
Oh, this is day 4 then.
Day 4. Okay.
Oh, 3 or 4. I don't know. Okay, how many hills? Let's see. What constitutes a hill?
I know, right? That's Charlie's line.
I know, but like, why is she saying it here? Nothing's changed. You're still an island.
I know. Charlie said it because like weird shit was happening.
Yeah.
It's like she could have said that after they found like the the shell with the label on it or something.
Yeah.
But like they're just looking at like regular island stuff.
Coconuts.
Some whoever.
Why do you know that? Why do you know what you should do for mountain climbing?
What?
We found out nothing. Good day.
Wow.
We walked up a hill, and that's where we spent the day. We can't go any further because, hey, it's going to be nighttime. See, that's the thing Lost would have done. Like, everything would have mattered. Like, you would have come to something.
If they're going to abandon the trip, then they need to have, like, something else happen.
Yeah. They would have found something miraculous. Like, oh, my God, like, this is blocking our way. Or maybe there's a plane that crashed.
Something interrupts them.
What? Everybody's bartering here. One hat for one fish. Nobody cares what you got, Brody.
I know, right? Okay, this is the next day now? Why the fuck did they do that? I don't get it. What the fuck is the point of saying, like, let's go back, and then, like, literally the next time we cut to them, they're doing it now?
No. This is them on their way
back. Same
day? Yeah.
Okay. Never mind.
So this is them. This is the Lost thing. Point. Here we go.
Yeah. You were expecting this, right?
Are they gonna move into this house?
I don't know what's happening.
if they're on Maui, I'm gonna just laugh. Like,
Maui.
aloha. Yeah, I don't know. That looks inviting. Smoked fish, favorite dish. Oh,
Oh,
this guy's still
Donovan.
alive. Just die already,
He's
dude.
never gonna die.
Just rest. What?
I don't even remember that.
I guess she's joking.
Okay.
No more speaking. You can't talk anymore. Oh god, everything's the worst. You want any food? Yeah,
What do
this
you
is what Out of
think?
the Woods looks like. How do you know how to do that? There we go.
The dialogue that writes itself.
I have no idea. Well, let's not talk about it anymore.
Uh-oh.
That look at his face was priceless. Oh man, he hates her so much.
Yep.
Wow, they're never gonna let this go.
Nope.
Wow, can you imagine a whole show where every other scene is like, remember that time you we talked about
Hell
that. That's what
no.
we said.
That's
That
the
the
problem.
subtext is gonna be there all the time, but they're making it the overtext.
Yep.
Uh-oh, Casey?
Uh-oh.
How does she know about that?
I have no idea how the fuck she knows about that. Oh,
Antics.
boy.
Antics. I'm confused though. Like, how does everybody know what happened to Casey?
I have no idea.
I'm coming for you? Yeah, Brody. That'll get you off the hook, bro. This is the second time people have elected not to go with Brody. What? Leave?
I couldn't believe this part.
I'm not taking sides.
Look, there's very good people on both sides here.
Yeah, there's a total both sides.
I couldn't believe it's like you need to like simmer down because like you're just
Mhm.
getting a little agitated. Like I just don't want to be around you and all of your like, antics.
Every time you come around, we're always fighting about rape.
I know, like what's that about? Like
I don't
fuck
understand.
all
So
of
the weird thing
you.
with Casey is that she was sullen and quiet her
Before,
entire time.
yeah,
So if she had changed because of this, it'd be interesting
yeah,
for her to play. But she's not acting any different.
yeah. You're right. It's a problem. They shouldn't have written it that way.
What, the whole show? Tired of this flashback. We're never gonna get anything.
Me
out of this.
too.
Like it's not progressing. Like it's not
No,
actually moving
nothing
forward.
new has happened.
No. They're actually getting less interesting.
Yeah, yeah. What's happens when you show the same thing over and over again?
Oh God, what's happening?
Yeah.
God, is she being judged? Holy shit! Holy shit! You think she stabbed him and then went to sleep 20 feet away? Wow. Yeah, the show got worse. Yeah, it's worse. She ran and kicked her.
Yep.
Oh no. Okay, please wake up in like the real world. Dharma Station. Oh
All
god.
right.
All right,
Woo!
indeed.
Was that good or
Wow.
what?
I'm gonna have to say what? Definitely gonna have to say what? Let me pause this thing. Wow. So yeah, it definitely got worse. Yeah, it definitely got worse.
That's kind of what I thought. The way
Yeah.
they pushed the rape plot from episode 1 was
Mhm.
like really annoying.
Mhm.
And yeah, then this ending, it's like, oh my god, seriously?
Yeah, because that's actually like Brody being stabbed to death off screen is like the most boring way to get rid of him.
Yeah.
So that's not satisfying. Even if you want to see him dead, like that's still not satisfying.
Yeah.
And now it's this like, well, we know Casey did it. Like, I mean,
That does seem like the implication. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, and if she didn't, then it would be interesting. And I don't think
Right.
they're focused on anything that's interesting.
Right.
Um, and now I'm wondering, is he really dead though? I mean, they seem to implicate that he was dead, imply that he was
Mm-hmm.
dead. But like Donovan survived a shark attack,
Right. Right.
so.
Hard to say.
And then I'm wondering, like, well, if Brody's dead, then half of the dialogue has been about sexual assault. So then, like, what's there going to be to talk?
What are they gonna talk about?
I mean, a third of the conversation is about coconuts. You
Right.
know, and then
Right.
there's like another third that's sexual assault,
Yep.
and then another
Yep.
third is like where are the logs we can sit on. You
Yep.
know, and
Yep.
so
Trading shit for hats.
bartering. Yeah, one hat equals one fish. That's market rate. Might change. Fluctuates with the Dow. Um, yeah, it definitely got worse with the ending. The whole thing with KC, like I just don't get. Are we supposed to wonder if he did rape her? Or are we supposed to like not know? Like I'm just so confused about like what the point is
Yeah.
because if you're just watching it normally, you would just take it at face value. Like he off screen, he pushed himself on her and attacked her
Yeah.
and raped her.
And I feel like from the speech, like basically either that's what happened or she's lying.
Yeah.
You know, which this show is not out of the question that she's lying.
Well, she's a woman, so she's
But
got to be bad somehow.
I know.
That
And then
seems
she
to
gives a
be what
speech about how
they're
she hates the
doing.
women. And it's just like that speech, that was the only time for me in this show where
Yeah.
I felt like that was something I could actually see Neil LaBute putting in like one of his,
Yeah.
you know, plays
Yeah.
or whatever.
That was
all day.
because it was a theme, you know, it was
Exactly.
very strong point of view, and I think it's so insulting to make a female character say that.
Oh yeah, that's why he did it.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, why don't you go and tar and feather your own self? It's like, why don't you? Now it's interesting. You know, that's not to say that it can't be interesting for a woman to feel that way
Right.
if you're gonna explore that idea.
Yeah.
But but if you're like, if you're a guy who hates women in some sort of way, and then you write something
Yeah.
where you're like, not only do I hate women, but I'm gonna like make my point by having a woman say they hate women.
Yeah.
It's like a Trojan horse or something,
Yeah.
and it's like that's extra bad.
Yeah.
Um, and there's no nuance to like what that actually means and like why, right? Like she could have explained like anything that would have made that make sense of like
Right.
why, you know. And because imagine if she said, she still gives a problematic monologue that she hates women, she always has, and now something's changed because now that she was just been raped, now she hates herself, right?
Right.
But a slightly elevated version of this would have could have possibly made it worth the words that were spoken, is if she came to a revelation of why she's hated women all her life. She goes, I get it now.
Right.
Like, because of this thing that has happened to me, now that I'm included in the hatred of women, I get why I've hated women. And she could say whatever she wants to say, right?
Right.
Like they're weak, or they'll they have no power, or whatever she could have gleaned from that assault, right? Like that could have at least made that monologue worth it in terms of the ideas that she was talking about, you know what I mean? And like get something out of it versus it just being like a banner advertisement for like an anti-woman screed, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if she could have had a character level insight on that would have communicated something to the audience that was more than just like this anti-feminist thing or something.
Right.
That's what I mean. Like it still would have been problematic, but at least we could have gotten something out of it, because I think like, characters can say things that are bad that we initially shouldn't think, but the characters can be complex, and you can to me a character can be protected, or their bad point of view can be understood in a contextualized way if they like explain themselves, right?
Right.
If it makes sense within the context of their own thinking, right, then I think in some degree you can get away with it, right? It's from the character's point of view. Like the Joker in Dark Knight, right? Like we can understand why he's doing what he's doing in the context of how he explains himself, right? And I think like that's what's missing is like, that's why the Joker isn't just a sadist, right? Is because he's got a different philosophy that's more than just I want to see people die. And I feel like that's what we got here. We just got this like flaccid philosophy with no apologies. And
I hope it's with a PH.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And instead of a more erect erudition, I think maybe it would be the
sure
continued alliteration. Yeah, so that's what I think about that horrible piece of time wasted in my life.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I think like theoretically there could be a show where a character says like, I hate women and I got raped and it was my fault, and it works. But I think with the overall like way the show has portrayed these things, like it really just comes across horribly. And to me, like the scene that I couldn't stomach was when the group turns on Chase and they're like, you're always like bickering with Brody, and like, so you need to just like calm down and go away.
Yeah.
It's just like, are you people serious? Like, okay, like even if you think she's lying or something, it's like, even within the lie, it's rational to react that way. Like, that's how she should be behaving to be consistent with the lie, So it's like, if anything, it's like either she's selling a story, so she has to do it that way, or she's not lying, and then it's just like a reasonable reaction. Like you should be on edge all the time with
Yeah.
some guy who tried to rape you. If anything, I would say she showed restraint, like a lot of restraint,
Well, here, but
considering the situation. So I just
yeah,
couldn't believe that
yeah,
they turned on her like that. And then of
yeah,
course it's set up for the end because then they're like, you killed Brody. And it's
yeah.
like, like,
Yeah. So
really?
there's so many levels where it's bad. There's the one level of like as drama, it's like it was such a quick turn and it felt forced and
Yeah.
it didn't feel natural. But number two, like the situation of like they're basically saying, and this is again why it stays problematic, right? It's almost like victims of abuse are annoying. Like,
Yeah.
God, every
Yes.
time you come in, I have to remember that people get abused, and I just want to live in a world where I don't
Yeah.
have that burden. And that's what it felt like. The
Yeah.
underlying point of that scene was right that like that that the victims make things worse for the bystanders because
Yeah.
the victims shout out, "Hello, I'm being victimized," and it's ruining their tea time. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like they're over
Yeah.
here, trying to have a nice dinner, and then here comes this woman who just can't shut up about her victimhood,
Yeah.
so it's like that. It's like another weight on on your shoulders of like how horrible the the world they've created is. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's not a fun place to be in. But on the flip side of that is it's an interesting context if there was a show that was really going to delve into the issues of sexual violence, right? There's things this
Yeah.
show is doing you could do on that show, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where they're talking about uh uh victims and how they share their stories and how people respond to it who weren't there and what the accusers say and
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
accusers deflate so it's like these
Yeah.
things are happening that if that's what the show was
Blaming
about.
themselves, blaming the victims, etc.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like,
Yeah.
well, what were you wearing,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
so all of that can be interesting. Now, number one is you don't know you're signing up for that when you sign up for the
I
show.
know, I know. I
That's
do
kind
feel
of
like that should be like addressed somehow
yeah.
in the title or the setup, like so it's clear that like
I
that is
think
a focal point of the show.
I think the S is for sexual assault.
Oh my god. It really should be. I
Yeah.
just it's like, you just don't tune in. I mean, it's fine to have those things, but like
Uh
that
huh.
isn't the kind of topic that you just
Yeah.
casually put in and just
And
like,
it's
hey,
not.
let's watch a fun show about an
It
island.
has nothing to do with the central mysteries of the show,
No,
which are what
no.
we're he- what was which is what we signed up for.
Right, exactly.
Exploring the island. Why are they there? How did they get there? Why are their memories erased? Why
Yeah,
these people? Those are the big questions.
yeah,
You know, yeah, and it's so weird. It's so weird to be in scenes where you're in this yucky place. Like, I don't want to be
yeah,
here. I don't want to be dealing with this. Like,
yeah.
and it was weird in the pilot when like it came up and they addressed it head on. I thought, okay, that's cool. Like she called it, because
Mm-hmm.
they could have swept it under the rug or made
Right,
her not think it was a big deal or something. And she's like,
right.
no, he tried to rape me. It's like, oh wow, okay, we're gonna really like talk about this. Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But now it's like in every scene with no momentum. It's not progressing. It's still he said, she said,
Right.
and he won't admit it, and she won't back down, and so now it's like we said, causing the problems for the other people,
Yeah.
and and so, but if Casey did it, who cares? Like, it just like she doesn't want anything, you know she's not the characters don't want anything, so
Yeah.
it doesn't, it's not like, oh, she killed him so she could get the key to the boat so she can leave the island because she's got to get home to whatever, you know what I mean? Like there's
Right.
no thing that they want, so
Yeah.
So I don't know what's driving them. So it doesn't matter why she did it.
Right.
You know, I just did to see what would happen. Like she could just say that, right? You know,
Right.
she's if she did it, you know she's gonna get caught, and it's not gonna matter.
Right.
hmm And then it'll be, oh, he came, oh, and then the lady will be like, he tried to rape her, and then she'll be like, yeah, he came at me again, and I had to, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it'll be like, oh, I knew he was gonna, I was fearful he would come at me, so I had to steal your knife from you while you were sleeping, and then I was right, he came at me, and so I had to stab him. And then, like, not tell anyone, and then let them blame you for it. I don't know how they're gonna resolve this. Because at some point she's like deceiving everybody, even if
Right.
they figure out she did it. So,
Right. Yeah,
um,
yeah. She's fully acting like, oh, it was you. Like she's the one who actually knocks out Chase and gives
yeah,
her the boot to the face.
yeah,
So like, yeah, that is pretty rich. But I do agree that like the evidence is it's pretty weird that she would like murder Brody on the beach and then just go to
mhm.
sleep like 20
Yeah.
feet away. Like that
Oh,
is totally
don't forget
bizarre.
that she left the murder weapon inside of him.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
like why would she do that? And why would she like not try to hide the body?
Yeah.
Try to, she could roll him out to sea. Um,
It
so
definitely
many
looks like she's
things.
been framed.
Why kill her? Why kill him with the weapon that everybody knows she has?
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's like a really bad frame.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'll kill him with the knife that Chase had, and I'll plant the body outside Chase's tent, and then everyone will draw the obvious conclusion, even if it doesn't actually make sense. Great show, huh? So, okay, like I just wanna like if you don't want, spoiler, like that's cool, but I am curious, so I won't like give anything away. But I'm just curious, like based on what we saw at the end here, like
hmm
do you think you know what's going on? Like do you have any guesses about what's going on with this show? Like the overall story?
I think we're being punked. Uh,
Well, that is the best theory.
um, yeah. So I mean, at the very end, we get her Chase wakes up in this like facility, and she's wearing different clothes, and this is the island, whatever. So it makes it seem like they were in some sort of virtual reality simulation, and when she lost consciousness, that made her wake up here. I mean, that's the obvious
Okay.
thing, I would think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. So if it was that, why do you think they're in a virtual reality simulation where they forget their identities and stuff? Like, what would you say about that if you had to say something?
They're trying to test human behavior in
Okay,
some
is it
sort
lost
of.
now? Because, like, that shit is lost as fuck.
I mean, what else listen, their only reasons are it's scientific experiment, it's
Mm-hmm.
punishment. Like this is some newfangled prison,
Mm-hmm.
where they punish you in the virtual world in the most boring way possible. I know what'll torture them. There'll be no place to sit but long. It'll drive them mad. Imagine the butt splinters. Um, yeah, punishment or aliens. I think we talked about that last time.
Aliens.
It's like experiment, punishment, or aliens.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
And the aliens could also be doing an experiment
Yes.
like
Yeah.
Dark City or something. Spoiler alert.
Mm-hmm. There were no aliens, but
What?
no, I'm kidding.
Okay.
But there weren't any.
What?
I'm kidding.
Okay.
There were zero.
Look, I'm on the island now.
Am I gaslighting you?
I think
Huh?
so.
Maybe you raped yourself. You ever consider that?
You think about that, Tammy.
Yeah, you put that in your pipe and smoke it. Okay, so you know the answer to the question you're asking, right?
I do. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so
I
on a
was just
scale
curious what you
of
said.
1 to 10, how close am I?
8 or 9. You're pretty close. You're pretty fucking close.
Okay, all
You
right,
didn't get all the details because there's like a little more, but yeah,
sure.
you're not that far.
Okay, all right. Well,
You're
it
not that
was
far
my
from the real
it was my
answer.
first guess.
Yeah, I know. I know. And you even said that in the last episode. So,
Yeah.
like, so, a lot of that stuff. And so, yeah, when I read the answer, I was like, oh, is that? Okay, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't
It's
care.
not good. Like, so I just don't know where you go with a show where the characters are flat, undeveloped, boring, and offensive. The the plot.
This is the pitch. This is Neil Abu's pitch. Because first of all, we're on an island. Okay, the characters are flat and boring and offensive. Okay, have I got you
Yeah,
so far?
like what a combination. It's like
Yeah.
you could just have a show with boring characters. Like that's one thing.
Nah,
Plenty of
that's
shows to do
easy.
that.
That's easy.
But it's just like no, they're
Yeah.
offensively boring.
Yeah.
Like that's just and then like the plot is also not very interesting. Like
Mm-hmm.
okay, like do you have a theory about the hotel? You know, what do you think's going on with the hotel?
Oh, I forgot about the hotel because it didn't matter.
It didn't matter,
Um,
right?
yeah. I don't care. I mean, that's what I
Okay,
think
that's a
about
good.
it.
I like that theory. I just thought I'd ask because it was
My
probably
theory
like
is I don't give a shit.
one of the most momentous things that
Yeah, I
happened in this
mean,
episode. You
listen,
know,
it's one of those things where like if this is a virtual world, then it doesn't matter why there
it
was a
doesn't matter if it's a
hotel.
virtual world. Yeah, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, so I
It's
think
just some
that's
bullshit.
yeah, it's just some bullshit. I mean, it's another place for them to go. They don't have what do you like shelter and no way to really make shelter. So they might go to the hotel and spend some episodes at the hotel and like it looks creepy. Maybe they'll get some like drama out of that. I call the big room. I don't know.
Oh
Uh,
no!
I don't know.
Oh
And
no!
that's the kind of thing I'm thinking. They find the problem is they're not finding clues. And like she's the
Right,
only one who's finding anything, and she's like not saying anything to anybody, but also
right,
not doing anything.
right.
Um,
Yeah, 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 yeah. She's like Locke. If Locke like found the hatch and then was
yeah,
just like, well, I'm not gonna tell anybody about this, but I'm just gonna leave it there.
just gonna
It's
leave
fine.
it.
It's fine. I don't need to mess with that hatch.
Not my
I got
hatch.
other things to do. I'm gonna go sleep in this tent.
Time to go to. I love how where was everyone else? Right? Was he supposed to have been murdered at night? Because weren't they all sleeping in the tent, or were they not all sleeping there
They
because it
were
was
sleeping in a tent
raining?
during the storm, but I guess, yeah, I guess
Okay,
like,
so they all went back to the thing, and she was the
yeah,
only one sleeping in the tent.
yeah,
Oh, because they told her to GTFO.
yeah, yeah, yeah. She was banished for the crime of being upset about an
Yeah.
attempted.
How dare you have emotions? You're like harshing or mellow, so why don't you like make like a tree and surf? Yeah. Yeah, it's tough, man. I really would love to know. I feel like now I need to go like see what the actors are saying about this show in interviews. I'm curious,
Hmm.
like if they're like, well, Neil Abute came to me and asked me if I want to do something really experimental and horrible, and I was like, yeah,
Why not?
let's do it. Um,
What's the worst that could happen?
yeah, so like I kind of want to watch the next episode only to see what this real reality is like and like what the
Hmm.
point of this is and whoever like she's gonna talk to when she wakes up or whatever like
Right.
that's the only thing that's keeping me interested now. It's just
Yeah.
like, okay, well, what's this thing? But the problem is I don't think it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I think it'll be like
The show's given
some
no
organ
indication that anything interesting is going
yeah,
to happen
it'll
so
just
far.
be some organization and we won't know why they're doing it,
Hmm.
and that's it will be a supposed mystery, and she's gonna be like, let me out of here, I want to leave, and No, inmate 453, you have 10 more years on your virtual sentence. I don't know. And, or it'll be like Brody's the doctor or something,
Oh no.
it'll
Oh
be a
no.
thing. That's another thing. Like if if it's virtual, then he's not really dead, so he could also be awake in this place, right?
Right,
So,
right, right.
um,
Good point.
I want to know how the sexual assault conversation translates to the real world. That would be an interesting thing to see. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if there's a discussion, if they drop it now because it doesn't matter because it wasn't real.
Right, right.
Um,
Or if they
or
like
Brody.
address it somehow, like
Yeah.
what it
I feel
means
like I
to
feel like Brody could be running this place. Like, you know, and he's like,
Oh god.
I had to push you for our test or
Right.
whatever,
Right. It was all
and
part of the plan, Chase.
yeah, and he's like wearing glasses, so he looks like a
Oh, he's respectable
doctor.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he's
Yeah.
respectable. Yeah,
God.
that's what I would imagine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, I guess, like, they send her back or something, but you can't tell everybody what's happening, you know, um, because of some reason. You have to keep it a secret that it's all virtual,
Right.
because you need to, I don't know, find some information out from one of them. One of them knows something we need to know. And only you can fight forest fires. That's, I don't know, spitballing here.
I would
Did I
love
guess
the
the whole
plot
show? I don't
to
know.
shift to forest fire prevention. It would be useful at least.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd give it that.
Well, if you're not careful, sexual assault can spread like wildfire. So,
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. Well, all right, everybody. I mean, we did it.
Hey,
It
we
was
got through it.
bad. It was bad.
It was pretty bad.
I think the pilot was probably worse overall. And then this made it this was extra worse. But I think as a standalone episode, this is not as bad as the pilot, is what I'm trying to say.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Things happen. Like, it's a bit less inert. They still have that problem of like just sitting around doing nothing and having like plots that sort of go nowhere. But like there was at least like some exploration. They found items and locations.
They climbed halfway up a cliff, and then it was like, we got too late of a start. Yep. Let's not do this right now.
Yeah, so that was bad, but just compared to the first one, like it did seem like it was a little less boring, in terms of things happening. And the ending is like, it's generic and it's not like super interesting, but it is like a legit like cliffhanger ending.
It's a normal TV cliffhanger ending.
Yeah, which like, the first one, it was just like a logo, which I thought was pretty weak. Like, this is a little better because it raises the stakes. And I think the main problem with the ending is that it pushes things too far too fast.
Like, I agree. And
I just don't think in episode 2, like, I don't feel like we should be ready to wake up and not be on the island anymore. Like, that just trivializes everything. And I do feel like if it's a simulation, like, that just really starts to make it seem like the show is pointless. Like, why am I even watching this? Like, I don't, like, it makes it seem like everything doesn't matter. Nothing means anything.
What the plot should happen. That's the real. It went too far too fast. But here's the question: if the island's a virtual world, then why barcodes on stuff like the shell. Like that doesn't make any sense if it's a virtual world. It
That's a
only
good
makes sense
point.
if it's a real world.
It's a good point.
Yeah, so I'm curious about that. Um, I'm curious, like, how far in the future this is supposed to be.
Right. Right.
Or
Yeah.
it's just like the present day, but there's some super secret tech or something.
Right. Right.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. They could go that way.
but because there's so much misogyny, like I think that will continue to be a part of the show. So I'm curious how that plays
Yeah.
out. Like, what are the other horrible characters that are going to show up? You know?
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like, who's gonna fill the void left by Brody if he's really dead?
Some unlucky person will have to fill that role. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because
It's
like
so weird.
Brody has been the main antagonist of the show so far.
Well, Casey's in line. I mean,
Yeah,
she's
you're right. You're right. She's definitely, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but she has been like relatively like she's
It
just been sort of like annoying, but she hasn't really done
yeah.
anything until this episode maybe.
Yeah, but the weird thing about her arc in this episode was like she's like, yeah, I started things with Brody and I pushed it too far. I wanted him to prove that he liked me more. Why? Since when? Since when did you care about Brody liking you? That's the weird thing the show keeps doing. It keeps doing this thing where the characters are like, everybody's doing this thing, and it's like there's been no scenes where anyone did that,
Right.
and but they keep saying it in the dialogue, and it's like this gaslight screenwriting. I'm just like, that's not what happened,
Yeah.
and then so her big thing about like, oh, Brody attacked me, but did he? Because that's not what we saw, and and it's like we should think he did that, but I think he didn't, and she's making it up. you know,
Mhm.
and I feel like she's gonna later go, "I love women. I've always loved women. Women are the best. I've never not loved women. I'm a woman. How could I not like women?" I just because she's so like she's got this. Her character can be and do anything. You know what I mean? Because there's nothing grounding her. Because she doesn't want anything. So they can have her character do whatever they want it to do at any given time because it doesn't matter, you know. Yeah, it's like trying to think of a Lost equivalent. I don't think Lost ever. They were just good at the basics.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
it definitely made me appreciate Lost more. Even the season 5 stuff, like
oh
all
yeah,
the stuff that like sucked that we were like went on and on about is just not even in the same realm like why it's
hmm
bad.
yeah,
Like it does succeed on certain basic levels
hmm
that yeah, like I think you just have to cross that threshold before you can even get to the point of like
yeah.
whether it even matters like what the overall story direction is because like even if this plot was like genius somehow like I don't think that would fix the fact that the
hmm
characters are so terrible.
Yeah.
Like most of them don't have anything like a personality.
Like that
And
one girl made hats this episode. Like that was her big contribution to the plot. I made a hat.
I made a hat.
It took me 4 days, but I made a hat. And here, how about this? I want to bet that we'll never see anyone wearing a hat ever again on this show.
This is just the hat
This is the hat
contrivance
episode.
episode. Yeah.
Exactly. They'll never have any hats ever. That's my guess. Um, Yeah, I agree. Like so many of and then the characters who they did try to like Cooper, they tried to flesh him
Hmm.
out, and wasn't he horrible? Like he
Yeah.
was like all over the place. He was like
Yeah.
schizophrenic. He did not have a consistent core attribute.
No.
Um, he was so weird for him to be like the nice guy. He was weird as shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And then they do this thing where like because a woman talks to a man who's nice to her, she's got to like him now, you
Right.
know? And it's like that, you know what I mean? It's like Brody took you to the waterfall and it's like, hey, we're at a waterfall. I guess I got to kiss him. And then like this Cooper guy is like talking to her and she's like flirting for no reason.
Right.
There's no reason.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree. I think yeah. I would think given what happened it would be different. I mean, maybe they're trying to say that, that she's like trying to test him. Like, I don't know if that's really the case or if it just turns out that way in the end or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
um but I think just like behaving that way like out of any context, like it's weird.
Yeah, and then
It's
she
really
was
weird.
like, "Hey, yeah, what happened with Brody was crazy. Like, I see you." He's like, "Yeah, I hate that guy's face." And she's like, "Well, I saw you. You did a good job not punching him." He's like, "Thanks." It's like, huh? I think she was being sarcastic
I
because
agree.
you didn't punch him, which she would have wanted you to.
Right.
And so her saying thanks for not punching him means, hey, you should have punched him. And he was just like, and that happened in another scene when with the Casey, where she like
Yes.
completely seemed to misunderstand the
Yeah.
exchange.
I wanted to bring that up because I didn't get that exchange at all. It was so Chase is like, you don't look like you've ever been starving or something.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She
And
goes,
she's
"You look
like,
like someone who's never starved in your life." She
yeah,
goes, "I'm a skinny white girl. I like to eat."
yeah.
Which
It's
is
like,
there's like five
huh?
things wrong in those two sentences. There's like five problems.
It doesn't add up at all.
No,
Like, are
no, it
you
doesn't.
listening to each other? Like,
So the
what are you
first problem
saying?
is Chase is saying you look like a spoiled rich person who's
Yeah,
never had to see poverty. That's what she's
yeah,
saying.
yeah, definitely.
And then Casey misinterprets that and goes, "Oh, she thinks because I'm skinny, I don't like to eat." Which is okay, so that's problem
But
two,
that's weird because
but
that's
that's
not what she
three.
said.
That's the third problem because that's not what she was saying. She was saying you look like someone who does eat, not
Yeah. I know, I know. It's like if the point was like you look like then it would be like, oh, you're starving yourself or something, But
yeah,
it's like, no, I like to eat, but it's like that wasn't the point.
yeah,
It's almost like there were like multiple drafts and like the point of that exchange
yes.
changed, but then like he forgot to
That
like
that is
change.
that is such a great insight 'cause that seems like the perfect thing that happened. Where they kept massaging the lines and they just forgot what the point of the exchange was. And they just completely were not
And so
talking
they
to
just
each
said
other.
what was on this page and like,
Yeah, and that's an example of like the actors not listening to each other and like
yeah,
talking and going, "Wait, what did you actually say?" And is
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying a real response to that? And she's like, So I'm a skinny white girl. I like to eat," and it doesn't like, yeah, it's the wrong response. It's
Yeah.
the wrong response. If they were having dinner and Casey was chowing down on the food, straight,
Mhm.
surprisingly, then Chase would go, "Wow, you don't look like the type who eats like that or
Yeah.
whatever." And then she goes, "Yeah, I'm a skinny white girl, but I love to eat," or
Yeah.
some like
Or
that's
even
how
like
that.
you must have been starving or something. Like you look like you were starving. Like, well,
Yeah,
I'm skinny, but I like to eat, like
yeah,
it could have worked.
yeah. It
Like
was
a
that was
simple
a weird
exchange like that.
exchange. Yeah, and so it already starts off with the problem because like Chase saying you don't look like the type of person who's ever starved. Like that's a weird judgment to make on A, someone who is skinny, and
Mhm.
B, someone in a situation that's not their normal situation, right?
Right.
And like C, based on what? Like what about her makes her look posh? She's not a royal British accent, you know? You know what I mean? Like she
Yeah.
doesn't there's nothing about her that's coming off. She hasn't been like the Shannon girl, right? Who's
Right.
like, "Oh, I can't touch something gross,"
Yeah, yeah.
"Oh, that log is too dirty for me to sit on." You know what I mean? Like
Right,
she
right.
hasn't come across prissy. She hasn't come
Right.
across pampered.
No,
So like,
definitely not.
why did you even say that to begin with?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, so that was
It
the 5
seems
problems.
totally out of touch. And it'd be one thing if they were saying like because Casey's so standoffish, like Chase is like unfairly judging her or something. Like if they wanted to
Yeah.
take it to that point, like she's jumping to conclusions. They could build some drama out of that, but it isn't that. It seemed like it was just kind of a simple
Or she could have thrown it
exchange.
back in her face and she could have said, she could have been like, yeah, actually, you're wrong. I've been poor all my life.
Hmm.
I'm a skinny
Yeah.
girl not because of Pilates, because we never had a lot of food.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like they could have done the thing that would have been normal to do,
Yeah.
but she tried to turn. She tried to. Why? So defeated. I'm so defeated.
Yeah, something's wrong with that scene. It just
Yeah.
doesn't add up. And it's just like, I don't get, I mean, this is like, I felt the
Because
same way in the first episode. I mean, these are professionals. I don't
yeah,
understand how this happened.
saying I'm a skinny white girl I like to eat is not a quip against Chase.
Yeah.
But she said it like it was. And
Yeah.
she said it like it was like some character defining thing. Like in that moment it would have made sense, but it didn't make sense. Like if they have an antagonistic relationship, then when Chase is basically saying, "Wow, you look like you've never seen poverty, you've never experienced hardships," then the obvious quip against that would be, "You're wrong, I have."
Right. Right.
So
Or
it's
at
weird
least
that they,
like you don't know anything about me and
yeah,
neither do I or whatever, because they don't at this point. But like,
yeah.
yeah,
Or I like you might be right. I have no fucking
or you
memory.
might be right, sure. I mean, I was
like
just expecting like Casey wouldn't want to give that ground, but yeah, sure. It's a valid thing to say.
they could remember the situation that guess is as good as mine. You know, yeah, it's just weird to get those type of, for a person who's used to writing dialogue, it's weird to get that kind of stuff wrong.
I know. I'm so confused. Like, I do feel like I need to go back and watch some of those old Neil Abute movies and see if like there is
Maybe
some
this is how they talked. Like maybe
kernel of
that's what was
that,
interesting.
and I
Yeah,
just
maybe
missed
like
it.
yeah, maybe they didn't answer questions directly and they misunderstood each other and
Yeah,
or something.
like I remember like Mad Men, like season 1 being sort of like that, where like characters would have
Yes.
these exchanges and like it wasn't clear that they
Mhm.
were listening or responding to each
Mhm.
other. Like they were just like
But
saying
well,
stuff.
I was gonna say the difference there is the characters knew what they were saying to each other.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? And here it's like I don't think they even get it.
Yeah.
Um. But it was like that thing in Mad Men, but which felt like it was part of the style.
Yes. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think it's successful here. I'm just saying like, you
Mhm.
know, like if somehow it turned into a consistent style tone, if it fit with the characters and the world, like
Mhm.
maybe it could work, but it just comes off as like super awkward. There's so few scenes that don't feel like just really uncomfortable.
They're
Even
like
simple
first
ones.
draft scenes or
Yeah.
something. They're like just the etchings of like what's supposed to happen, but there's no like drama in them yet. And then when they do get drama, so she goes and what does she do? She finds the key fob, and then she
Yep.
runs on the beach.
Yep.
I gotta run, and then she sees Brody,
Yeah.
and now it's like, well, I don't want to tell him about this thing that I
Right.
don't know what it is.
Yep.
And then the scene gets derailed because of their fucking bullshit.
Right.
And then he's like, stay in the kitchen and watch the meat cook. And then she goes off and doesn't do what he says.
Right.
And then finds a gun. But then, like, again, she's got too many weapons. And then she comes back with the spear.
Right.
She comes back with a spear bigger than his, which I love that look on his face. That was like pure contempt. That was like the best acting he did because he was like so upset she got a bigger stick than he did. It was just like, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
But all right. I mean, I don't think we should watch the third one, but I do want to know what happened to what horrible explanation of this world that they're in. I do think I'm deserving at least of that to
Yeah.
understand why they're inflicting this on us.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. It's definitely
Yeah,
inflicted on you.
yeah,
It's the right
without
word.
consent. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah, yep, yeah. Nobody asked for this, except maybe Casey, but
Oh
maybe not.
God.
We'll have to find out.
Oh
Isn't
God.
that isn't that the like a fun thing like and when you're watching TV and movies that you're like, oh, I can't wait to find out next episode if this character was raped or not. Like, isn't that a thing you say often?
Yeah, that's a great mystery.
God, that's horrible. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the way they played it is supposed to be sincere, but I think the problem with that, it's a little bit like the problem they had with Ben sometimes on Lost, where if you have a character who's like relentlessly unpleasant and
Mm-hmm.
guarded and so on, it's like you feel like you can't trust what they say. So even if they're acting sincere, you don't know if you're supposed to believe that because they don't act that way normally. And
Yeah.
so it just comes off like they're putting on some act and like saying some bullshit for some manipulative reason, you know?
Which they probably are.
And so yeah, I just feel like that's a problem. Like but maybe it's supposed to be that. Maybe it's supposed to be like a legit mystery and you're just supposed to think about like, oh, what really happened out there,
Well, but now that Brody's dead, like, what are we supposed to
moot
care?
point. Yeah, yeah, great. Well,
Yeah. All right. Well, until next island time.
indeed.
Hopefully not, but who knows?
Yeah, we'll see you
Thanks,
on the
and
next thing.
we apologize.
Indeed. Sorry about this show. All right, see you later.
Bye.